So a few months ago, I just bought my second property, and this right here is the landlord check. Now, for all y'all know, I could just be a dude who's flaunting cash like rappers do in their videos, and I could be capping. But I hope y'all taking my words in good faith. But in this video, I'm basically going to explain how I bought this property and why I bought this property and what I learned from this experience and how I'm going to continue to grow from this. So how did I buy this second property? Okay, so I was able to find this deal on the MLS again, which is called the multiple listing service, as I mentioned in my previous video about rental properties. And basically I was able to finance the deal with a fancy loan product called a non-QM loan. And the reason why I went with that product, it was because with the non-QM loan, you can basically buy a product without having to basically use your W-2s and whatnot to actually prove to the lender that you're credit worthy. Basically, they look at the property itself and sees if the property is cash flowing, and then they're able to loan you the money. Whereas with most traditional loans, it's basically more income dependent, so it has its pros and cons. And I put 15% down on that and got the house for about $170,000. And you can do the math and see how much I paid out of pocket. But basically, after buying that property, I'm not gonna lie, if I'm being honest with y'all, that bankrupted me. And it's okay because I'm blessed to buy another property, but it kind of inspired me to want to start to use other people's money. So why did I decide to buy this property? Well, when I went into it, one, I saw that it cash flowed, which was really important for me. So basically, whenever I'm looking for properties, I'm always hoping that I'm always making some type of good cash flow, and hopefully it's positive. So I saw that. The second reason why I decided to buy this was because it was actually right next to my property where I live right now. So in order for me to manage it, it was actually something that was very easy for me to do because it's like a 10 minute drive from where I live, which is convenient. The third reason why I bought this property was because when I went inside it, I just got a warm, good feeling. And I don't really know what that feeling is, but I just felt like I had to buy it. I think part of that feeling was when I went in, the tenants were good vibes. I was getting good energy from them, and I kind of felt like if I was to own this property, that the tenants wouldn't give me any issues. So those were like kind of the three main reasons why I bought that particular property. When I did buy the property, something unexpected happened. As soon as I bought the property, one of my tenants actually just left immediately, and that was kind of something unexpected and I wasn't really preparing for. But it actually ended up becoming a blessing in disguise because the previous place was rented for like $850, and as soon as he left, I painted up the place with my friend and I painted up the place, cleaned it up a bit, and drastically raised the rent up from $850 to $1,100. And not only was I able to do that, but I also found some really nice tenants who are really responsible people, good vibes. We really connect and trust each other, and it's been good so far. So that actually ended up becoming somewhat of a blessing because I found myself some great quality tenants and I was able to raise the rent. Honestly, that's been my experience with my second property for the most part. What did I learn from it? So even though I'm blessed to have this second property, the deal was very stressful, if I'm being honest with y'all. It was a lot of going back and forth with the lender. My lender was on some BS. I don't really want to talk about it and go into the details of it. But basically, I'm learning that if I'm gonna go through all this stress to buy a duplex, I might as well use that same energy and go through all that stress to buy an even bigger property. Because from what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing from other people, when you're buying bigger apartment complexes, it's the same process. So the way I'm looking at it is, I'm gonna go through all this BS of going through buying a property. At least let me go through that stress with a much bigger property. So that's my next goal. I'm gonna go try and buy an apartment complex. Hopefully it's at least 4 to 20 units, somewhere around that range. And when I do that, I'm gonna update y'all. Anyways, stay blessed, fam, and do good and expect nothing in return.